Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is TBR Schmitt. This is my wife Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are watching Clue. What do you know about this?
Well, I've never seen this movie, but I know Clue in general. I actually love to play board games, and I love the Clue board game.
I've never in my life played Clue.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I love the board game, and then more recently, we've seen Knives Out, which I feel like is a similar concept.
Kind of, yeah, like a whodunit.
Yeah.
Like a murder mystery party type of thing.
Right, but Clue is like the OG. I think.
Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. I mean, I love Knives Out, so I'm going to be super excited to try to figure out who actually did it. Yeah. While also being a comedy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of the comedy aspect. I was a little bit surprised that this was like a comedy.
Yeah, and there's some pretty big people in this. I mean, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn. Yeah, so I'm super excited.
Me too.
So we want to thank our patrons for voting for this to win our comedy movie poll. If you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we have reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on Twitch, Instagram, or Twitter, all of those links are in the description as well. And with that, let's get into it. All right, that was Clue. What'd you think?
I loved that.
That was really good. I want to run through the final scenario.
Okay.
Okay, so the first person technically to die was Mr. Boddy. Mr. Boddy was the first person to die, and it was Professor Plum who killed him.
But he was Mr. Boddy's butler.
Yeah, he was the butler.
Yeah.
And then the cook died from Peacock.
Mrs. Peacock.
And then the guy who got his car stranded, the driver, he got killed by the colonel.
Yes.
And then Yvette got killed by
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White. Cop got killed by
Scarlet. Yes.
So they all killed people except for
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green. And you were about to say that.
I'm so mad that I was slow with that comment. But yes, like I realized that he was the only person that didn't kill anybody right as he kills Mr. Boddy. But he's an FBI agent.
Right, so he's the FBI. So technically that is really what happened.
Yes.
I'm going to have to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Because that was just a lot.
Yes.
But I do feel like the most suspicious person when we watched it the first time was Scarlet.
Yeah.
She was the only one that when murders happened on the ground floor, she was already on the ground floor. When people were dead, she was always not with the group. And there was even some scenes where I saw her either in the very back or she would appear late or something. So I feel like, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like the movie tries to get you to feel like it is Scarlet. Yeah. So that once it does reveal, you're like, oh wow, like we got it. And we were so happy, we high-fived. We were like, yeah, we got it. Like, and then
totally tricked us.
That was such an amazing ending to the movie. The fact that it just was like, psych, that's not what happened. It could have been this. And then the second scenario was who even was, I don't even remember who was the killer. It was Peacock.
It was Peacock. The whole thing was Peacock.
Yeah.
Which wasn't as believable.
That wasn't very believable. Yeah. But then it really hit you with the real situation.
Yeah, where literally all of them are killers.
And that makes a lot more sense because there was so many scenes where it just was like, well, how could everyone still in the same room together? So the fact that they literally all had their own opportunities to go kill the actual person that was responsible for their blackmail, that was great. And the fact that they were all technically guilty in the end. Yeah, no, it was great. And, so with the board game, you get who was killed. And then you have to say who killed what where. So like at the end when he was like, I killed Mr. Boddy in the hallway with the revolver. Oh, that's like part of the game? That's what you do with the board game. So like when you think that you've won the game, you say like, I think it was Scarlet in the library with the candlestick. Okay. Like that's how you play the game. So that's a huge like callback to the actual board game. Yes. So that's how that ties in. Man, I wish I played Clue as a kid. Yeah, we're gonna need to play some Clue. I know. I was just too obsessed with Monopoly and taking people's money, I guess. Monopoly's just so long. I mean, I love Monopoly too, but it's so long. Clue is much faster. Right. That was great. I mean, I had so much fun trying to figure it out as things went along. Yeah. And I feel like the movie did a good job of having enough humor and giving you just little tiny pieces that it wasn't super obvious, because they couldn't make it very obvious because they essentially had to set up 3 different possibilities.
Yes. Yeah. I know, we were so confident.
We were super confident that it was Scarlet.
Yeah. The cast, fantastic. Tim Curry is always great.
Yeah, he was excellent. He carried this by just essentially being like, not necessarily like the narrator, but he just kind of kept the whole story going and stuff. Yeah. And even like the last like 30 minutes of this movie where they're just like, he's just running through everything. It's fantastic. Yeah. Just literally running from room to room. Everyone's just chasing him.
So fun.
And the lady who plays Scarlet, you recognized her, right?
Yes. Yeah. She's from Desperate Housewives as well.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of Desperate Housewives.
We are.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm assuming maybe I've seen her in something else, because she didn't have like a huge role on that show, but I don't know. She was amazing though as Scarlet.
She was amazing. And she really made me like think of Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And like Christopher Lloyd, I mean, whether you agree with me or not, in my opinion, she looked like Susan Sarandon. Christopher Lloyd without crazy white hair, he kind of looked like a somewhat Robert Downey Jr. in some certain lights or something. And then there was that guy, the original Mr. Boddy, who was
turned out to be the butler.
He literally sounded like Robert De Niro did the lines. And like dubbed over him or something.
I didn't hear it like until once you said it, and then we weren't looking at him. It was just his voice.
His dialogue.
I was like, oh my God, it sounds like identical.
And we just watched Goodfellas. Yeah. So that's why his voice is like already in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, he doesn't look like, it looks like, you know, when you order something online and it doesn't...
Wish.
Yeah, Wish, and it doesn't come how you think. He looks like a Wish Robert De Niro, but he sounded like Robert De Niro.
I don't think you look anything like Robert De Niro.
Well, that's why.
But yeah, no, he sounded just like him. And then, you know, we're seeing Christopher Lloyd. We went from, you know, lovable Doc to like a
pretty pervy
psychiatrist.
Yeah, that was definitely a twist of Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was great. And, I mean, everyone else was recognizable too. Whoever played Mr. Green. Yeah, we just looked up to see where Mr. Green was so recognizable. For me, it was Better Call Saul.
Right. Yeah, we only watched
a few episodes of the first season, but he's Saul's older brother, I believe.
Yes, yeah, he's definitely in it.
I mean, he's in a ton of stuff, but that's... I did recognize him. I was like, okay, if I think of him like 20, 30 years older, that's where it came
most from. Recognizable, yeah.
But yeah, no, the whole cast was just fantastic.
So good. I mean, Mrs. Peacock was freaking hilarious.
Peacock was hilarious.
Yeah, and then, no, actually, I feel like maybe my favorite is Mrs. White at the end. Like, first of all, when they're singing, and she's like, I don't know anything about singing, but I think she's like harmonizing, if that's what it's called, with them, and she's like, while they're singing, that like killed me. And then there was something else she did at the end.
There was something really weird, like someone was like screaming.
Oh yeah, and she was just
like ah! Like, it was like, what? I mean, there was great humor throughout, but there was a lot of just like really quick, just like
yeah.
The whole death scene of the sing-along telegram or whatever that
singing telegram.
The singing telegram, thank you. Yeah, the death scene of singing telegram. That was literally just like pop open a door. Hi, I'm a singing telegram. Bang! And it was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, no, that
poor girl.
Yeah, that was really interesting, because before this, the only like murder mystery whodunit type of thing was Knives Out, and obviously that's, you know, I mean, there's some jokes, but that's not meant to be a comedy. You know, it was a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how would you have a good blend of comedy yet, you know, surrounded by murder?
Yeah.
And this pulled it off fantastically.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. It was a perfect blend of both.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there's not like a lot more just like Clue type movies.
I know. I loved that. I would love to watch more.
Yeah, it's just such a perfect like storm of like a serious, like, oh man, like really get you thinking and like focused on all the details and everything.
Yeah.
But then also just having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, so that was amazing. We definitely want to thank all our patrons for voting on that to win our comedy poll. So if you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we have reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on any other types of social media, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, peace everyone.
Bye.
Bye.